together.
Chelsea's been there 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ready.
Ready. Okay, I think we'll get started. Call to order, and we'll have the roll call, please.
Gwen Montal,
Here.
Adele Shelley,
Here.
Alan Whitworth,
Here.
Lloyd Meester,
Here.
Susan Harms,
Here.
Sal Maniaci.
Here.
We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the September 10th, 2018 meeting, please.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, Sal, we'll start with 190301.
Yes, so, thank you. The first item on the agenda tonight is a request for a variance to this rear yard setback. So this property located at 622 Jefferson Street. This is an existing car wash. It has been that way as I think that was original use, I believe so. Here at the corner of Market in Jefferson Streets. It has been for sale, and the applicant has it under contract pending this approval. As far as I'm aware, they are wishing to close in the car wash and put a micro distillery in this location. Now, the zoning for that use is permitted. It's C2 general commercial, and that a micro distillery / microbrewery is permitted in that zone district. However, they are looking to do an addition to the rear of the structure, and that is outlined in blue here. The addition to the property. Now, the property itself, as it sits today, is actually already grandfathered because of the unique and peculiar situation of this lot. It's zero setbacks on each side property line, and the building is not actually perpendicular. Parallel with this rear property line. So here it's about 19 feet from the property line as I measured on our mapping system, so that's not 100% accurate, but it's about 19 feet here as far as we can tell, and then about 25 feet when you get to the end here. So the backside does have a portion of it that meets the current zoning code, that rear yard setback, and you can see this actually where it says unknown or UNK is a public alley that is owned, it is considered public right-of-way, just like Market and Jefferson Street are. However, since it's an alley and not a street, well, it's still considered rear yard in this case since it's commercial. On residential, you can get closer to an alley, but in this case, a 25-foot would still stand per the code. So you can see here what they're wanting to do. This gets pretty close to zero at the very edge, so that's why they're asking for a 0-foot setback for the addition. When you get further back, it is actually about 5-6 feet, I believe, from the rear property line. They are keeping this alley open because that does count as their fire lane to get 100% access around the building. And as you can see, the Washington Lumber does have a 0 setback on the other side, on all 4 sides actually. But so this alley existing does have a building right up to the property line. They're just asking for something similar on the south side here. So.
Okay, thank you. Let me start off with, is there anybody here that's speaking against the proposal? Against the proposal? Okay, then I'll go to the next one. Is anybody here that's speaking in favor of the proposal?
Yes, actually, I'm here. Rich gave me a call. He lives out in Colorado, and he has his kids this week, and he could not be here. And we looked at doing the sprinkler connection for him for that building if this all goes through. So he asked me if I would come and go to the meeting for him tonight and, and represent him. But yeah, so basically he's looking for the zero setback. That little bump out is sort of the entrance, to the property was kind of going to be. It leaves one handicap parking spot there on the corner on the back, 'cause it's nice and flat there. And he has some additional parking in the front. It's a 16 by 50 addition that he's looking for on there. Other than that, at this point, until the plans are done, there's not much else to probably say unless you have some other questions, so.
Okay, board members got any question of the applicant?
No. Can I ask your name and the relation?
Oh, I'm sorry, Andy Understall, representing Rich Anders.
What was the name?
Andy Understall from Understall Construction.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, if there's no questions from the board, then I would say that we would go ahead and read it and proceed.
I make a motion. I make a motion that we approve it.
I think we got to read it
We got to
first.
read it.
Oh,
Whereas the board does find and determine that the property in question, located at 622 Jefferson Street, is within the city limits of the city of Washington and is located in the C2 General Commercial Zoning District pursuant to the city's zoning ordinance. And whereas City Code Section 400.095F, area requirements, minimum depth of rear yard 25 feet, and whereas the applicant is requesting a variance from these requirements by proposing a 0-foot rear yard setback. Whereas under Section 475.040 of the Washington City Code, the Board of Adjustment has the following power relating to variations: to vary such other regulations as shall appear in the zoning ordinance and of the City of Washington, Missouri, where such variance is necessary to prevent exceptional and undue hardship upon the owner of such property to the extent authorized by Missouri law. Now therefore be it resolved that the request to allow variance for a 0-foot rear yard setback is hereby granted, provided that all other ordinances and regulations of the City of Washington are met. The Director of Planning and Engineering Services is hereby directed to issue a building permit in accordance with the resolution of this decision. Ardell Shellick,
Yes.
Gwen Montel,
Yes.
Alan Whitworth,
yes.
Lloyd Meisner,
Yes.
Susan Harms.
Yes.
By your vote, you pass the variance. Thank you. We have another one, 190302.
Yes.
Thank you.
So this is a similar request also with a setback. In this case, it is the side yard setback. Our zoning code, so this property nope. I don't know why it's not
Ain't got
showing up.
nothing up there.
Let me try again. There it goes. Sorry about that. This property is located at 113 Johnson Street. You can see here it's actually just directly across from Elijah McLean's. In this is actually an older aerial. You can see the existing, I believe the applicant confirmed it's this portion. Right. So there's an accessory structure that was originally there, was torn down, and it was a 0-foot setback. I believe at that time is what it looks like on our aerials. According to the zoning code, once you tear down an accessory structure, or any structure, if it was grandfathered, it loses that grandfathered status, and they have to meet the new zoning code. So the applicant is wishing to rebuild it in its same location, which would get 1 feet from the side property line.
Okay. Anybody here that's wants to speak about this application? Come up and state your name and tell us who you are.
And I'm sorry, before he gets that, I do have a second slide that shows, it zooms out a little bit, because normally I do point out the surrounding area. There are other properties in this vicinity that have 0 setbacks.
0 setbacks.
Yeah, so it's not out of character for the area. Wanted to point
Okay.
that out.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we're just wanting to build a new garage, and with
State
the
your name, please.
Clint Schneider. If we go with the 5-foot setback, you can see our existing driveway that's there. It's going to kind of throw off everything with the garage door being lined up with the driveway. It also it's going to take up a lot more space, obviously, in our yard. So we would like to just put it in the current location of the shed that was there, And it's 18 inches off the property line right now. It's 1.5 feet, so it is off of it a little bit, but the neighbor's driveway is on a different side, so in the future, if they were ever wanting to redo a driveway or something like that, it's not like it would be close to our property line, I don't think. So I don't think there'd be any issue with that in the future, so.
Is this going to be just like a carport?
It'll be like a two-car
Going to build
garage.
an enclosed garage?
Yeah.
Two-car garage.
Okay. Any questions from the board members?
Okay.
Okay, Sal, thank you.
Whereas the board does find and determine that the property in question located at 113 Johnson Street is within the city limits of the city of Washington and is located in an R2O residential overlay zoning district pursuant to the city zoning ordinance. And whereas the city code section 400.150B accessory structures may require a rear yard, but such accessory structures shall not be within 5 feet of any side yard or rear lot line. And whereas the applicant is requesting a variance from these requirements by proposing a 1-foot rear yard setback. Whereas under section 475.040 of the Washington City Code, the Board of Adjustment has the following power relating to variations: to vary such other regulations as shall appear in the zoning ordinance of the City of Washington, Missouri, where such variance is necessary to prevent exceptional and undue hardship upon the owner of such property to extent authorized by Missouri law. Now therefore be it resolved that the request to allow a variance for a 1-foot side yard setback is hereby granted, provided that all other ordinances and regulations of the City of Washington are met. The Director of Planning and Engineering Services is hereby directed to issue a building permit in accordance with the resolution of decision. Ardell Shellick.
Yes.
Gwen Montal.
Yes.
Alan Whitworth.
Yes.
Lloyd Miesner.
Yes.
Susan Harms.
Yes.
By your vote, you pass the variance. And I don't think, there's nothing further to come before the board?
Now, do you
Not
want to
tonight.
talk to them about the next meeting?
Yeah, so we did receive another application right after we put this in the paper, so we couldn't put it on this meeting.
So we have 2.
Oh, we did get the second one in? Okay, so it'll be 2 more again. Right now, we're planning for April 8th. That is a Monday, and that'll be at 6 PM before our planning and zoning meeting,
Okay, how does that sit with the board members?
if that works for everyone.
Just you can just email me and let me know if you need to check your schedules. Just let me know.
I'm all right with the 8th.
Okay? Helen?
Lloyd?
Lloyd?
For April 8th,
I have nothing on
I'm going to have to check, not
Okay.
sure.
Oh, yeah, just
Probably.
email. Okay?
I'll let
You
you
okay?
know.
You're okay? All right.
Looks like we'll have enough.
Pencil.
Do I entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I
That'll do it.
motion that we adjourn.
A second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded that we adjourn the meeting. Thank you, folks. Meeting's adjourned.